It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. It's funny. We run a club out in Vale, and I went out there, and it's so different. Like Monday Night Football finishes at 8 p.m. It's kind of nice, better for sleep. And also like the national news. Like if you watch CNN or Fox National News at 6, it's on at 3, or 2 in Vale. No, 4 p.m. in Vale. But yeah, it's kind of nice. Anyhow, great weekend of sport. It's just going through what happened. I stayed up late last night. I did watch that unbelievable close game, Denver against Washington. Denver won it by a point. And hey, the Chiefs look like they're out. First time in, I mean, how many years with Mahomes? And that's a big changing of the guard there. Um, Also, my Dukies got into the title game for the ACC. Now, here's the weird thing: if they win, they're not going to be in the top 12, and there will be no ACC representation in the top 12 in the playoff, which is kind of sad. One of the power conferences, and there's nobody from that conference. Um, Anyhow, before I go on, Rich Nayer, I see you on here. You can get all of the Monday morning, and welcome, by the way, welcome to Monday Morning Club Quarterback. I'm Ed Shannon. Would be on thebaselines.com. You can get all our uh, episodes, all our weeks on the Beyond the Baselines YouTube channel. I put them up and they're there. It usually takes me a day or two to edit this one, so I'll get it up there on Wednesday or Thursday. But all the previous ones are there. So if you want to revisit, go over to the Beyond the Baselines YouTube page. And there we are. There's a lot on that page, actually, for all you department heads, governors, presidents, club managers, and all that. This week, first of all, I hope you and your families all had a very happy Thanksgiving. I had one. It was the first one without my father here, and it was good. Mom was in a good spot. My sister was here, and my family, my daughter and my wife. That was it. It was kind of quiet. But that aside, Black Friday happened. They're saying in so many ways that it was one of the biggest Black Fridays ever on record. I don't know. I didn't go out. I stayed at home. And then we had Cyber Monday is today, Small Business Saturday, which I used to run at my clubs. I don't do it now, but when I was down in Jupiter at Ocean Trail Racket Club, I used to do Small Business Saturday, and American Express would sponsor it. I have signs and all kinds of stuff, and it raised some revenue. So we can all think about that. Today is Cyber Monday. Now, if your club has a website, put something on it, right? Don't miss those opportunities. I'm going to put up my old rackets today for on eBay. I have a bunch to sell from last summer's overstocks, so I'll put that up with little Cyber Monday kicker. Um, but what I want to talk about today is uh, the H-2B visa. I think we all know how that works. Maybe we don't, but for seasonal clubs, they're important. You, as a club, have to prove to the government, to immigration, that you are in need of seasonal help. Well, these H-2Bs are getting tougher. No surprise under this administration. And we just got denied down here in Florida for a seasonal worker to come back. She had been here on a student visa, went back, totally legal, back to her home country. We applied as a company to the H-2B, and they're just making it too difficult. We didn't get really denied, but the amount of information, the amount of time it would take for us to complete all that was requested by immigration, it just isn't worth the role. So that in its own way, is a denial. And this makes it hard to staff for seasonal clubs, winter clubs. And then on the flip side, in the summer, H-2Bs are for those temporary workers outside of agriculture. They can't work for agriculture. That affects us in the club industry, hospitality industry, really, but it does affect us if we can't get them. So what I'd like to say is get your applications for those H-2Bs early, get a good lawyer and get a good attorney and get them in as early as possible so you can deal with all the requests that immigration is going to, unfortunately, bestow upon you in your request for a seasonal worker. So H-2Bs, get them done early. The other thing I'd like to talk about today, in for Sean, I see you just joined us. Um, I do have a list, and I can give you a couple. Email me that, Sean. I saw your email over the. It's look, Fox. First of all, sorry I wasn't here last week. Florida, we have the whole week off. So my daughter was out of school. It was a chance for her to go play tennis, go in front of coaches, all that kind of stuff. So I've neglected to tell everyone that I wasn't going to be on last Monday. I am sorry for that. I thought I had set it up that way, but obviously it went right through. So sorry about missing last week, but we were on vacation as a family and from school. Um, but what I wanted to talk about was rebranding. And Sean, this is important for you because you've got that new association that you're kicking off down there. Um, and let me bring you on so that we can talk about that. Hold on one second. Let's see. How do I do this? Sean is going to get on. Allow. There we go. Sean, you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. Welcome to Beyond the Baselines, the Monday Morning Club quarterback.
Thank you.
Hey, tell me. I know you sent me an email last week. I was just catching up with emails last night. Tell me about this association you've picked up and that you're rebranding because that's what I want to talk about. Rebranding today. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
It actually started with a rebrand because the GPTA, the Georgia Professional Tennis Association, came to us at Go Tennis as a bit of a media and marketing firm and said they wanted to rebrand.
Hmm.
Skipping to the end, the negotiations led to Go Tennis simply acquiring the entity that was the GPTA and turning it into the next phase of what they were was going to require more than just a volunteer board, which is all they had at the time. So we did a full rebranding. We went from tennis coaches only, and I'd been a member for a long time, having been a coach here in Georgia for years. And so it was tennis coaches only. You had to be a certified coach of tennis to be a member. We opened it up to anyone who wants to be a member. You technically don't have to have anything to do with tennis or racket sports if you don't want to. We will accept anyone. There's a slight vetting process where we make sure it makes sense, but we opened it up to anyone in the industry, to stringers, to general managers, maintenance, and we actually expanded our awards. We're in award seasons now, so that's kind of in on my mind to where we're giving away our pickleball awards, which is new because now, as the American Racket Sports Association, a lot of entities are making that switch. Most famously, the RSPA. PTR is adding their other R's in
Hmm.
that they're doing. So a lot of people are making the switch, and it's a hard transition because you're not going to bring everybody with you. That's the toughest part about it is there are some diehards that are going to be tennis only or USPTA only, and they're never going to make the switch. So, from a branding perspective, you have to understand that you're taking the chance of bringing in more. The goal is to bring in more and open it up, but you are going to get some negative response, which sometimes can be hard to hear.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about with the branding. Can you, Sean, give us your email so people can contact you? What's your email, Sean?
Email is Sean, SHAUN, at American Racket Sports Association.com.
Okay, so there we go. So one more question for you, Sean. You saw, as I'm sure you saw, that the USTA, and I was up there at the national headquarters, at the national campus last week with my daughter. They're going to take over, or they're going to start offering USTA certified coaching, right? So is that going to expand your audience, or is that going to curtail you? How is it going to affect your association?
I like the truth wants to come out there, the takeover.
It is. It's
Yeah,
a
so
takeover. I mean, the
it is.
RSPA and the PTR's days are numbered, I believe. I might be
They
wrong
are
already.
in. It's going to be difficult, and
Yep.
part of the rebrand was targeted to the idea and the understanding that USTA was getting into the game. And it is going to help us because we make friends with everybody. We don't offer certifications, we do some continuing education, but it's in partnership with these other organizations. So we have deals with RSPA and PTR already. USTA is in the works where we're going to work with them to help them get their coaches or anything they offer their continuing education points, and their professional networking, which is what we do, which is professional networking, career services, and business support. So it will help us because we can simply go to them and say, hey, we're all friends here. Let's do
Hmm.
this together. And technically, right now, USTA doesn't have a professional networking system to compete, so we can get along well.
Gotcha. Great. So people reach out to Sean. I met Sean a few years ago, tried to hire him for up north, become a seasonal pro, but he didn't go for it because he was about to have a baby. Now that baby's probably how old? Sean, 3?
He is 3. He was just running around up here. Yeah, he's
Yep.
3 years
Yep.
old. He loves his tennis. He loves his. We have a little pickleball court in our amenities in our neighborhood that's practically in our backyard, and we call it Giovanni's court. He just loves it.
Doesn't every HOA in Atlanta have a pickleball court and a tennis court
Pretty much. There are
that
about
coaches are running
2,800.
around to with their basket in the back of the car? Is that how it is?
Exactly. 2,800 tennis facilities in the Atlanta metro area leads for a lot of independent coaches.
There you go. So my rebranding, the reason I was talking about rebranding is I hired for a pitch, a well-known marketing firm here in Vero Beach to rebrand what they roadmap, what they would do and how they would rebrand the Boulevard, right? And if you don't know, my background is marketing. My background was advertising marketing. That's what I did for 25 years abroad in London. I came back here and picked up a racket and started teaching tennis. But it was evident to me that I could do what they were talking about in this roadmap, and I would love to do it. That's kind of what I started Beyond the Baselines about. Is like I was like, look, we need to educate these boards and these committees because directors of tennis and directors of golf are really marketeers. You got to give you're selling yourself and you're selling your program. So I said, damn it, I can do this. But here's the problem. And we all have this problem. The mundane daily tasks and HR staffing take so much time from us. And Sean, I'm sure it's the way, same as at your association, finding new trustees and finding new volunteers, right? Is that taking a lot of time?
There's so much to do. There's
Right.
no way that almost doing our own, if you want to do your own rebranding,
Yeah.
whether you can do it or not, and that's the tennis, the wearing too many hats problem, is we're all very competent people and we can do a lot of things. You just don't have time. So at some point you have to choose what you are not an absolute expert in and outsource it.
Correct. That's why Beyond the Baselines is working for those clubs that don't want to be experts in tennis and rackets.
Exactly.
But also, here's the thing: it pisses me off that I have to spend about 9 or 10 grand on this rebrand when I can do it in house. Now, so what it made me do, folks, is come home over the long weekend. I got home Wednesday night from our vacation. Thursday was Turkey Day. Friday was kind of Black Friday. I enjoyed the day, but Saturday and Sunday I kind of caught up with emails and I read yours, Sean, and I sat down and I created a corporate wide document with each department and the order of reporting and supervision because I'm tired, I'll be honest, of people. My door is a revolving door when I go into the boulevard. People come in, Ed, I need a raise. Ed, I need this. Ed, I need this. No, go to your department head. But a lot of times, department heads just push it on to me. And that's a problem because I don't have time for the long term strategy goals, which I pull my hair out. I'm getting white. So I've created this. We're going to have a meeting, department heads meeting on Tuesday. And then every department is going to have a meeting this week. And then we're going to start that monthly so that my desk is not a carousel because it's got to stop. And I can't get what I want in the long term goals because the order of reporting skips. It's like a generational skipping trust. Let's just go to Ed. But it's just crazy, and I can't get enough done. And this exercise of doing a roadmap for rebranding told me just what you said, Sean, is there's just too much to be done, and I can't do it all. So either I'm going to have to outsource it for 10 grand or change the way the company works. And I'd rather save the 10 grand and in the next month change the way the company works. But we'll see if that works. I'll get back to you. Anyhow, Sean, it's been great having you on. Thank you for being here.
Love it. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, and guys, we'll be here same bat channel, 9 a.m. Monday Eastern. And remember, you can see all the past episodes on the Beyond the Baselines YouTube channel. And I tell you, we're getting a lot of acclaim and reviews, good reviews. So Go have a look if you missed an episode. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next Monday. Take care.